got to live through it. My God, in the name of Jesus. And so Joseph stands before Pharaoh and he gives Pharaoh the interpretation of his dream. There's going to be 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. And so he tells Pharaoh what to do. And Pharaoh, I'm just making this real short. And Pharaoh elevated him to second in command. And now some years have passed. As a matter of fact, 9 years have passed. And Joseph has now been in Egypt for over 20 years. He was a boy when they sold him, but he's grown up now to be a man. Look over and tell somebody, I'm a man now. Hallelujah. Tell them I'm a woman now. I've been through hell, but I've grown up now. I've gone through problems, but I'm grown up now. I've had heartaches, but I'm grown up now. Hallelujah, because I lived through it. My God, in the name of Jesus. And now Joseph is sitting on his throne, and his brothers walk in the door. Joseph looks at his brothers and he recognizes them, but they don't recognize who he is. But at that moment, elder, the Bible says that Joseph remembered his dreams. It's been 20 some odd years. It's been a long time, but God brought it back to his remembrance. Is there anybody in here right now? Do you remember what God promised you? Do you remember what God said? Do you remember what it used to be like? Hallelujah, God. Some of y'all that's not backslid. I'm trying to get you and I'm asking you this question. Go back and remember how it felt when you came out of the wilderness. Somebody give God a praise. If you can just remember what God said, if you can just remember what God did, if you can remember what it used to feel like, God said, if you come home, I'll kill the fatted calf. I'll put a ring on your finger. I'll put the shoes back on your feet. I'll put a robe of righteousness back on you. If you will come home, I've got a blessing just for you. Somebody praising in here right now. Oh, give God a praise. Just give somebody else. You can come home. You can come home. Hallelujah. So now Joseph, he remembers, but they don't. And so as Joseph is standing there, they began to talk. And they began to say, well, I remember the anguish that was on his face. I remember how hurt he was. I remember how broken he was. But Joseph, hallelujah, had lived through it. And he no longer had any power over him. So Joseph stood on the throne. And then Joseph begins to mess with them. And he begins to play with their minds. But I want to leave this with you. How was it that Joseph was able to make it through? Well. We are given some indication in 2 Corinthians chapter 10. The Bible tells us that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but they are mighty through God to pull down the strongholds and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. And the word that he uses, God, is a word that means every argument. Because right now, hallelujah, God, you are in a discussion, you are in an argument, and in your heart, you are saying, I will live holy. But your flesh is saying, I want to live road, and hell is trying to stop you. But you gotta win the argument. And so the Bible says that there is a spirit in you that can demolish every high thing, that destroy every argument, that break every plan, destroy every thought, and bring it into the obedience of the Spirit of God that rests in you. You've got to learn the I am. My God, in the name of Jesus, the way that Jesus was able to defeat the Pharisees, the Sadducees, and the lawyers was because he knew who he was. And if you're going to break down the high and the things that are exalting themselves against you, you got to know that I am what God said I am. When Joseph was in prison, when Joseph was going through, Joseph recognized that one day, somehow, some way, God's going to bless me. God's going to deliver me. God's going to bring me out. So Joseph would say, I'm in prison, but I'm still a king. I'm in prison, but I'm still anointed. I'm in prison, but I'm still blessed. I'm in prison, but things rolling down my eye. I'm in prison, but I'm still in shackles. I'm in prison, but I'm still gonna praise Him. And when you can rest all of the arguments, telling you to quit, telling you to give up, telling you to backslide, telling you to surrender, telling you to stop, and you can rest all the works of hell. You can make it through. Come on and tell somebody, I can remember the devil almost won, but I lived through it. The devil almost had me, but I lived through it. The devil almost caught me, but I lived through it. The devil almost touched me, but I lived through it. The devil almost destroyed me, but I lived through it. Because they didn't live through what you lived through. If you say, well, I wouldn't act like that. But if you live through what I lived through, you would act just like me. Come on, get your shot, get your praise. Don't wait on nobody. You live through it. joy with you. You came up here and trying to warm yourself up my fire. Man, I don't have to warm my fire. I got my own matches. Come on, somebody. I start my own fire. The Bible says that you're transformed by the renewing of your mind. Now, the reason why this is important and the reason why this is significant is because as a man thinketh, so is he. So if you're going to be something different, you got to think something different.
That's right.
But you see, but here's the problem. Let's go to drugs. Let's deal with the drug addiction. One of the reasons why drug addiction is so bad and so devastating right now is because the class of drugs that we have right now actually alter the brain receptors. You see, you are basically a neural network. Amen. And so there are chemicals and electrical and synaptic impulses that move throughout your body. But every one of them has to have a receptor. So every drug that enters your body, the only way it has to make it into the cell is there is a receptor on the outside of the cell that when that drug comes along, plugs into that receptor. If that drug does not correspond to the receptor, it stays outside of the cell. I don't hear it. And so when certain drugs come about, they burn out receptors. So individuals get hooked because they want the same feeling, but they struggle finding it because the receptor is now burned out. Lord have mercy. So that's why it's so devastating. Now, every chemical, every electrical impulse that comes into you must be able to plug into a receptor. So the Bible says you are to be transformed by having your mind renewed. And he tells us in this text that though we are in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. In other words, our fight cannot be based in our minds. It must be based in our spirits. Hallelujah.
All right. Take your time. Take your time.
Because my mind has to be changed. How do I change my mind? My mind becomes changed when I allow the Word of God to plug into spiritual receptors in my Holy Ghost. So when I hear the Word of God, and if I receive the Word of God, it plugs into my spirit, and my spirit alters my molecular composition. So my spirit begins to alter my mind. Oh, Lord have mercy. You cannot get folk renewed by working on their mind. You only get folk renewed by working on their spirit. Jesus told Nicodemus, that which is born of the flesh is still flesh, but it's the born of the spirit. Now you are spirit, and you can be transformed through your spirit. Hey, somebody praise him right now. Somebody praise him right now. pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. They tell you to push and to work harder. And so you have tried and tried and tried. Well, Jesus said, no, I don't want you to try. He says, what I want you to do, you've been trying. So he said, come unto me, all ye that are trying, laboring, and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. He said, take my yoke upon you, because if you take my yoke, I'll take your yoke, and I'll carry your mess for you. Hang with me for a second. And so, when I'm yoked up with Jesus, and he's the one that's bearing the yoke, it's not about trying. It's about understanding his grace. Why is that important? Because if I'm trying to live holy, but I'm trying to pull it up and do it myself, I can never live holy enough. But if I understand the grace of God that brings salvation, teaches us that in our ungodliness and worldly lust, so that we can live soberly and righteously in this present world. But the word grace means gift. It means that when you can't do it on your own account, God gives you his grace.
Hallelujah.
What?
Hallelujah.
God says that when you're living and you're struggling, and the pain and the anguish and the torment of a life of struggle, he said, I will infuse you with my grace. I will impregnate you with my grace. I will fill your soul with my grace. Now what does grace do? Grace teaches me that God favors me when I'm not worth it. He favors me when I can't do it. He favors me when I don't deserve it. And when I understand that God is on my side regardless, something happens in my mind. If God loves me, then I don't deserve to be loved. I don't care if she loves me. I don't care if he loves me. I don't care if they love me. God loves me. And it frees me to be real. In other words, it frees me to be true. And I don't have to live a life of pretense. I don't have to live a life in the shadows. Come on, y'all not hearing me. Joseph looked out at his brothers, and later on, as you move on over to chapters 47, 45, 47, Joseph begins to weep at his brothers. Now, let me show you what Joseph does. Joseph tells his brothers, they recognize when he tells them who he is, they start crying. And Joseph said, don't cry. Joseph said, don't be angry with yourselves for what y'all did to me.
It's all good.
He said, well, God sent me ahead to preserve your life.
Yes. Yes.
When God transformed your mind, you can see folk who have wronged you on the street, and you don't cross the street. You can deal with the folk who you've been through the bad marriage, the bad relationship. Some of your sisters have been whipped on and hit upside your head all your life. But then when God deals with you and he brings you through that, you don't have to get angry. You don't have to get upset. You can say, I pray that God will bless them. Why? Because your mind has been renewed and you recognize that God gave me the strength to live through it. God gave me the power to live through it. ability to deal with it. But God is saying, if you want the victory, you've got to live through it. I'm not talking about survive and exist, make it through. But God says, I want you to live through it. You understand what I'm saying? Some people live through some stuff. But God says, what I want you to do is I want you to live through it. Did you notice that when Jesus was on the cross, they took him there, he was offered drink twice. The first time he was offered wine. And they would give the people on the cross, they would give them wine mixed with sedatives and painkillers. So the first thing they did, they offered him the wine that had the sedatives and the painkillers in it, so that when he was on the cross, he could bear it. He refused it. He said, I want to feel every pain, every hurt. You see, because he was hanging there for you. He wanted to know exactly what you felt. He wanted to know your hurts. He wanted to know your pains. He wanted to know your sufferings. He wanted to feel everything that you went through so that he could identify with you. He did not want to be sedated.
Take your time.
He did not want to have the pain receptors in his body flooded. See, you take Tylenol, you don't want to feel the pain. Or you go to the doctor and get some hydrocortisone. I don't know what they give people. Oxytocin, oxycontin or something. But we go and get stuff. Why? Because we don't want to feel the pain. When they offered Jesus something to dead the pain, he refused it. He wanted to feel. Yes. Every hurt, every pain that you went through, he wanted to embrace it. For he was bruised for my shame, wounded for my iniquity. He was a man of sorrow and acquainted with your grief. But after hanging there for so long, and being dehydrated and in the sun, and the blood had streamed from him, and the next time they offered him vinegar, and the vinegar was to moisten his lips and dry his throat so that he could keep on talking. He wasn't just denying it because he didn't want to drink. He was denying because he wanted to feel the pain, but he had some things that he needed to say. And so the next time they offered him that, he wanted to have his voice and his throat and parts. He wanted to have it opened up so that he could throw his head back one final time and look toward heaven and say, it is finished. I lived through it. All of that hurt, all of that pain. He said, it's finished. It's over. Just for me. Jesus came and did it just for me. Here's the last thing I'm going to give you this moment. The Hebrew word, the root of the word Christian is the Hebrew word netzer. I'll tell you why I know you can go through and why I know you're going to survive. The Hebrew word is netzer. When a tree has roots, and if you cut that tree down, from the roots, little shoots will shoot up. I got a tree in my backyard, I cut it down. It was a Bradford pear tree, and it was one of the ones that gets these stickers on it. So every time I be cutting grass, I go past that tree. So I cut it down. But right near, there's these little shoots that are coming up out of the ground. And when I push the lawnmower through, and it reminds me where that tree is or was. And those shoots that come up, they were called netzers. That's the root of the word Christian. The Hebrew word. What does that imply for you as a saint of God? It means that when you get cut down, tendency to spring back up. In Isaiah chapter 11, it says that he shall be like a root out of a dry ground. And the image is of a stump or a tree that's been cut down. And in the middle of that stump, there's a little spring that starts coming up out of that. Because no matter what happens, God says, because you're rooted and grounded in me, and because you're like me, every time you get cut down, you will spring right. I lived through it. I don't know. There may be someone here this morning. You knew this was inevitable. You knew this was going to happen. You've been to enough apostolic services that you know this is your time. This is your moment. This is your hour. If there is someone here this morning, you've been through it. You have suffered the pain, the hurts, the indignities. You've gone through, you've had your struggles. Y'all stand with me. Just for a minute, I promise you, it won't be long. But somehow you made it. I want you to make your way to the altar this morning. God brought you here this morning because He wants to help you to live through it. I'm ready to live through it. I'm ready to live through it. And we have people here, and I just want you to come to one of them. Let them know why you're coming. Let them know why you're coming. Live through it. Live through it. Live through it. Hallelujah. Heartbroken, struggled, but you lived. I lived through it. I remember. That's what the scripture said, Joseph. It said that Joseph remembered his dream 20-some odd years later. God takes him back and helps him to remember. But he didn't remember it until he lived through some things. I lived through. Tell yourself this is the last time. I'm not going to be in this predicament anymore. I'm through. Live through.